We're here in this lovely Bavarian restaurant and we're talking about the future of B2B marketing in Germany. And of course this time of year would normally be CEBIT. That's not happening, we know. And what does that tell us about how B2B marketing is changing in Germany?
Well, it tells us a lot because it is not just that CEBIT died, but it is people are moving away from this one-off big event towards, I would say, a continuous conversation, a 365 days conversation with their clients. And on the other hand, events are still happening, but I would say on a much smaller scale, dedicated to the brand or to a certain topic, where then you really have the focus on your customer.
Yeah, and I think that idea of owning the customer relationship is really interesting. We're seeing a lot more of that, I think. It's not inbound, it's not direct marketing, it's a combination of both of them to create a dialogue with the customer. Do you think that integration and bringing channels together is important for clients right now?
I would say it is key. If I look into the past, I would say there were a lot of technologies missing, which we now have to have the possibility of an ongoing conversation with your clients. And I think that is what most of the companies we are working for are looking at the moment. To use also technology to be constantly in this conversation.
And what about creativity? We hear a lot about that. Is it, with all the precision now, is it more important or is it less important?
I would say it is as important as it was, but perception is also changing. It is not about creativity that cries out loud a certain message. It's more the deeper content and especially what comes out of it, so the results. So I would say there are two sides of the story. At the one end you have creativity, but on the other hand they have to deliver results. So it might be effectiveness or efficiency. So we are looking actually at a new wave where we could build a new word which is called creativity.
If you're trying to influence a buying decision, if you're trying to convince someone, it's not just to appeal to the rational business objective, but also you need to appeal to their emotional side to connect with them. Someone who wants a promotion, someone who's scared about losing their job. So that idea that creativity and relevance can come together is really interesting. Is that why we're seeing such a rise in ABM, do you think?
This is really where also specialized agencies come in and build a bridge between marketing and sales, because often in companies these are really two separated silos and they don't hardly talk to each other, only if they need something from the other part. So understanding the scenarios and speaking the language of both sides, I think, is key for good communication programs and to be a trusted partner.
To build that common understanding, is measurement important? Incentives? Are people changing the way they think about how they measure success?
Measurement is on top of the list on everybody's plate at the moment, because at the very end you get measured on your results. So as an individual, how you perform, but also as a group or the entire company. So the famous word return on investment is, I think, very much important. And if there is an agency partner who not just can come up with great ideas, but also deliver results and even based on the results optimize the campaign, that is what the future will look like, and we are already doing this.
We've seen some really interesting research that we've done that links long-term mentality to effectiveness, and I think that's at the heart of a challenge for B2B marketers, isn't it? How do you balance the need for short-term sales pipeline with the long-term need to build brands and build preference?
You cannot separate it. I think both is relevant, and a lot of companies need to achieve these short-term goals, but at the very end the bigger result is as important or even more important. So it's a bit of both, I would say.
Yeah, and of course we're often talking about sales cycles that are 6 months or a year or more, so even the demand generation side of it needs to be thought of as a long-term program.
Definitely yes, and I think that's also the case in terms of when you look at client-agency relationships, that it is not a short-term project by project. It's more moving again to that you agree on certain goals over the year, and then you come up with different programs, but you do them together as a trusted partner and a long-term partner.
Yeah, so that approach to measurement can actually help with the trust and the environment to be honest with each other and say, look, this is going to work in the long run, so let's stick with this, or this isn't going to work, so let's not do it.
That's true. I think that's also a key point, that you not only come up with a campaign idea and deliver results, but on a constant basis measure it and then optimize it. So even if you do something wrong, which everybody does, you can quickly adjust and change the outcome.
It feels like it's it's an exciting time to be a B2B marketer in Germany. There's lots of opportunity to really create value for the business and be seen to be a partner to the business. What do you think is most important if you're a B2B marketer in Germany right now that you're doing and thinking about?
I think important is that you, as we said before, understand the language of your clients, so marketing and sales. Be a trusted advisor in terms of when it comes to measurement and goals, because you have proven that you can do this. And also the use of technology is very much important, because sometimes, depending on the industry, clients are not so heavily involved and need a helping hand to go into the future.
And I guess that comes back to what we started with, which is getting closer to the customer.
It is all about winning or losing these customers, and rather winning it.
Yeah. Good, well, it's been a fascinating chat. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.